to share with you guys what we'll be doing today, what we'll be working with on that emotional regulation level. Um, I'm also going to adjust my video because it's on like cartoon level. Now you'll see my wrinkles a little more. Um, so yeah, so I'm aging myself as we speak. You start to see everything, but I looked like a cartoon for a second when I got on there. It was on highly touched up. So I love reading all the messages there. That is awesome. And I'm just opening up our slides to share with you. And those of you guys who kind of know my style, it's to prepare on Sunday and on Monday for meditation group on Monday. And it always gets to be a little bit of an interesting exploration for me about what we're going to do in this group together. And today's a little different. So we're going to be really honoring and empowering certain emotions, but we're also going to be really in the space with ourselves of welcoming whatever our experience is. And in this welcoming process, we're going to really honor our curiosity as the main first tool that we're using. Because as you can probably, imagine, if you are curious about an emotion, you're already much better friends with it. You're much more open to being kind to yourself, and that makes it easier to actually the word regulation, let's talk about that a minute. To regulate our nervous system or our wellness on an emotional level, it's not to like reprogram ourselves and like switch. That's more of a bypassing move that was done like a lot in the 2000s. You're just going to reprogram your feelings. You don't have to feel the way you feel, change the feeling. But I think the way a more trauma-informed method that has become much more the way I think that is really supported now is to be curious, to be welcoming, to allow feelings. And that really, it like takes away their negative strengths in a sense. So if you're really angry, but you say, hey, anger, like, okay, I'm angry. So let's get curious about anger. Where is that anger in me? What does it want to express? Is there a resentment in the anger? Is there a fury? Is there an injustice? And being curious with that anger, which, usually is a volatile, difficult emotion to have. As soon as there's curiosity and observation, anger is now on our side. Anger is a teacher. Anger is a friend. Anger is just a normal emotion versus like, I got to reprogram that anger. I got to make it this, that's a very kind of top-down controlling approach. And I think trauma-informed meditation and facilitation and therapy has really taught us this new way to be with our emotions and our body in a way that's much more loving and supportive and healing. And it takes us out of what can also happen, which is emotional flashbacks. So have any of you guys had an emotional flashback? Do you know what I'm talking about? This is talked about a lot in complex PTSD. And so like if you had a hard childhood, which many people of course have had, there's kind of ongoing stress. There's a level of needing to be vigilant and armed, aware of danger that creates this certain emotional state. And then when we grow up and maybe we're a meditation teacher, maybe we're a ski teacher, maybe we're whatever, a runner, whatever it is we're doing that we love, that is good, calming activity, but something triggers us, we might have like a resonance with a past state. And we don't know exactly why that emotional flashback is coming up. Sometimes it's that we're so healthy And we're so now kind of nurturing to ourselves that we're safe enough to feel what we couldn't feel in our younger years. So whatever the cause is less important than how do we meet that emotional flashback. And emotional flashbacks can last minutes, or even, I was surprised to hear this, weeks and months. And no emotion will last a whole week, obviously, but a certain tone to our emotions, maybe a certain sadness or a certain sense of dread or alarm or anxiety, right? That can go on kind of at a low level for a long time. And I think when we learn these techniques and we use them, we are able to actually process whatever emotion is arising much more quickly. So we're not having emotions. We get to have all the various wonderful emotions. But of course, no one wants to feel nervous or anxious or a sense of deep sadness or dread. Like, no one wants that, right? So it's good to be able to meet that in a healthy way and to balance our nervous system, to regulate ourselves, and to have these tools to be present and also to kind of move forward in our day, because emotional flashbacks can really be linked to a fogginess like brain fog or procrastination or anxiety that really limits one's life. And so many of you are coaches, and it's important to know how these meditation tools can help your clients with certain emotional states. Please write in the chat if any of you have done any work with this or feel that this is relevant to you or your clients or your family. I just spent a week with my daughter and her Mark and I's daughter in her early 20s, and I love how 20-year-olds are just, I think because of TikTok and YouTube and all this good stuff, they are learning, like they are on it with these terms and they are learning these skills. And it's important that as parents or grandparents or coaches, we speak the same language. Okay, awesome. Good to see you here, Joyce from group coaching. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of people who can relate and who understand this, what we're talking about, and maybe have emotional flashbacks or work with people who do. And it's sometimes like in myself, I'm definitely someone with complex PTSD, and I want to be more and more open about that. And so as I study more about it and learn more about it, I'm starting to recognize, oh, this is not a bad mood. This is actually like a minor, I have like low level emotional flashbacks. And so I use all of these techniques with myself as well as with clients and in teaching. Okay, great. So let's look again at what the tools are we're going to be doing. Everyone is here now. So we're going to start with getting curious about how we feel right now. You're not going to pretend anything. You're just going to investigate and observe. Now, if before then I can't help myself, we'll do a little preparation of grounding and space setting. It's not on the slide, but I just think it nurtures us. And then we're going to look at how do we add to whatever is going on in us. How do we add soothing, restorative, loving, calming, freeing? Accepting is going to come with the curiosity phase, but then how are we going to add one of these qualities to soothe ourselves, to restore our power, our healthy power, our strength, to be loving to ourselves, to calm our system, to free, to be freeing? And so just take a moment and look at those words and see, does one speak to you as being your favorite? I like to love myself, or I like to calm myself, or I like to set myself free. I don't want to be trapped by a memory or a feeling or a state or a thought. And then we're going to work with the breath in some way today. I'm not sure how. And then we're going to scan for tension, and we're going to do a tension reframe. And then we're going to rest in our simple meditation, being as is. I didn't finish that thought on the slide. So being as we are in the moment. I was in a rush getting my curls to curl. I didn't have quite enough time for the slides. So, all right, let's just go ahead and start. And you don't have to worry about tracking anything. I'm going to be tracking for you. And as we begin, I'm going to actually share with you one thing I do often during the day. And I just check. There's no tiger behind me. Oh, no tiger there either. So just look behind yourself and just notice there's no danger here. There's no danger here. And that actually really communicates to your body, I am safe. There's nothing behind me. Nothing is chasing me. You know, we are wired as human beings to be ready for danger. And when we're dealing with difficult emotions, we're more ready for danger. So it's just good to say, no tigers, no tigers. The other really nice thing is a crossover. So whether you feel right now an instinct to cross your legs or your ankles or your hands in some way, or give yourself a hug, that crossover sometimes resets our nervous system in a way that's really helpful for our memory, our focus, and our connection internally. I like the hands. You guys know me and the hands. Another way to do this is to draw a figure eight over your eyebrows, like over your eyes, going across at the bridge of your nose, like you're making your own eyeglasses. And this is very connecting to the two sides of the body. And just let yourself sigh, let your shoulders drop. They might need to raise first to drop. Shake any tension out. Let your breath be natural. Invite any wiggles. And as you exhale, just send some roots down into Mother Earth, letting Mother Earth support you energetically. Could be Father Earth. It could be just Earth. Feeling that connection with our planet. And noticing your breath, noticing any rhythms in your body. It might be the breath you notice. It might be a slight movement of energy, a kind of wiggling or warmth. It might be you notice a hot spot in the body of tension or a place of joy, of peace. And just honoring yourself right now as you begin to notice, letting your hands take a position that is supportive to you, whether that's on your legs or maybe it's cupped together, the hands, or you can move the fingers. We're really allowing freedom in our body and curiosity right now. So we're going to be curious and accepting. That's the tool we're working with right now. So let's just notice a feeling of curiosity. How do you bring that up? Like a detective, like a curious adventurer, and just applying that to your inner experience, not needing to change anything about the way you are right now in this moment. Just getting curious. What am I feeling? What is my body expressing? Are there thoughts? And when you meet one, you meet a feeling or you meet a thought or you meet an experience in the body, let yourself feel that curiosity, like oh, what is that? Where does it go? So if I tune in emotionally and I feel, there's a little bit of fear here, then I ask, so what is this fear like? How am I experiencing it? Is it somewhere more in my body, like a tingling in my hands? Or is it in my breath, in my belly? And what can I observe about it? And with this curiosity, there's an acceptance. It's going to teach me. So just noticing whether you're noticing a feeling or a sensation or a thought. You're observing the body's reactions to it. And there's this sort of loving joy in observing, in not trying to change anything about your experience. And of course, you can always start adding in any sort of calming or loving emotions as you need. I don't want you to stay with anything that's difficult for too long, but just be curious for a moment about what you're observing. And if nothing comes because it's a little bit artificial to sort of manifest a feeling to practice this, just check out your stomach area, go into your belly and observe right now, what is my inner core of my body, my lower belly, which is a space of a lot of power, of truth, of creativity, a place of our sensuality, our freedom. In this lower belly area, what do I feel there? What do I sense there? And the way you sense, the way you experience is perfect. You do not have to sense the way anyone else senses. Okay, so now you've observed, and maybe there's some words you pick out from your observation. If you have or would like guides or angels to support you, just invite them now to support you, to surround you, or have a kind, loving presence near you. And if you don't, you might have a value you call in, like growth or learning, trusting oneself, intuition. That's also a very important guide and helper. And we're just going to bring into this experience of noticing our stomach area, our lower belly, or somewhere else that you want to explore. Noticing, observing that area, and then choosing a quality to bring to it, whether that's a soothing quality. You might think of soothing sounds or images, textures like water, temperatures like coolness or warmth. And just using your imagination, your beautiful creative mind, see if you can just drop in a bit of that soothing quality. It might just be sort of a felt experience of movement, of slowness, of caring. Or maybe you want to bring in a loving quality, and it might come through words you say to yourself. You might put your hands on your stomach area and say, I'm here to listen, or I've got you. It may be freedom that you want to bring in. And you just say, whatever this is that I'm experiencing is free. It's free to evolve. It's free to speak. It's free to move. It's free to change. It's free to be as it is. And with freedom, there might be a sense of wind or music, or freedom might feel like a bird flying, or freedom might feel like a big open expression with the body, the sense of being maybe on top of a mountain, appreciating the big view or the open sky. And maybe you want to try these different ways of bringing these qualities in just anywhere in your system, like where right now might enjoy some soothing or some calming or some peace. And then just bring in those qualities. Peace might be a gentle color like amber of honey, or peace might be a beautiful creek with wonderful trees and rocks around it. Or peace might be for you a bird or a bee, or the feeling of water on your feet. So just letting yourself be creative. And you don't have to see anything. You can feel it, know it, use words to describe it to yourself. And just asking your body, is there anywhere else that needs a little loving or soothing or calming or restoring of healthy power? My back just spoke to me and said, yeah, I'd like some healthy power. So I'm bringing in the color blue, and like a strong blue, a beautiful blue. But what do you bring in to be restorative to your body, to your feelings? Let your creativity play. Restorative like a tree, a mountain. And you've got your breath here to support you also, just letting yourself breathe in and breathe out. Whatever you're doing, whether you're observing, whether you're adding in one of these healing qualities like calm or love or freedom or peace, just let your breath support you in whatever you're doing. And just know that whatever feels right to you is what's right for you. If the mind is busy, you can add this quality to the thoughts of the mind, adding a soothing quality to the mind's play of words or images, adding freedom like open sky to a worry or to a thought or to a feeling. What's it like just to add that open sky and let your body be that open sky, or let your body be that warmth or that soothing water or the beauty of a color. See what it's like just to let the body very naturally support you, allowing for movement, for breath, allowing yourself to smile or laugh, doing a crossover if it's needed, or shaking or tapping, or making an energy ball can be very restorative, nurturing. And now, my guess is that most of us are feeling, at least a little bit calmer than when we started, but maybe not. So, just checking your system, scanning, is there any tension here that I find? Any tension in my system, whether it's in the face or in the neck or in the heart area or the hands or the belly or the back or the legs, wherever it is, just notice where is there, if there is any tension. And then going to that place of tension and just breathing there. And letting your exhale be really long and soothing, if that feels good. And just bring in the idea, the thought, the vision, or the feeling of something very beautiful to that spot of tension. It might be a beautiful flower, a beautiful smell, a beautiful face, a beautiful piece of art. Just imagining that in your own way, right where the tension was speaking to you, and breathing as you imagine this beauty. And now just imagining something that opens up and lets go, like a knot releasing, a flower opening to the sun, a waterfall flowing. What can you imagine that's opening and releasing right there in that place? And then imagining something that is coming together, sort of finding its healthy structure, like knitting might be a metaphor for this, or the hands coming together, or a zipper zipping up. Something that's joining, connecting, restorative. And you can let your hands do this as well as they come together. But be in that place, bringing in this restorative quality. And then just breathe again. And let go with your exhale. And imagine a color that you love, a color that's really just, you love this color for some reason. You might have loved it your whole life. And you might not see the color, but you might think of things that are this color. And imagine that color in that place where there was tension. And just notice now, how is that tension? Has it released a little? Is it less? Is it different? Has it moved? It's natural for tension to move in the body. So if it's moved in the body, just breathe there for a moment. And if it seems to have pretty much become more transparent or lighter, just let your body feel that lightness. And let's just imagine for a moment that we are birds with wings, and just letting your hands sort of float up in that spacious pose of a bird of some kind. And just feeling that release of the wings. And then resting as you are right now, just letting any trying or doing to just coast off of you and just being in this moment. You might notice a kind of rhythm in your body, in your heart space. And just be with that rhythm, that inner knowing. Anything that arises can come and can go. No pushing or pulling. You have this spaciousness right now. And whatever you sense is just allowed in this wide, spacious essence. Just being. And let's again scan from the top down, feeling what it's like to give permission to our ears and the space between our ears and our foreheads and the back of our heads to just be, to be with their own rhythm. So just noticing and being. And then noticing the throat, the jaw, the mouth, the neck, the back of the neck. And just breathing and being, giving permission for this openness here, this space in the neck. And moving down into the collarbone and shoulders, the arms, the heart, the back of the heart. And just again, allowing this open quality, this presence, like the sun coming up and greeting the day. And moving down the body into the solar plexus, the lower ribs, the center of the body, feeling this center point of the body and letting it just unwind if needed, allowing an openness, a quality of space, an inner rhythm. And then moving down the body into the belly, the lower back, and inviting this open presence, this space, this permission to be. Breathing and being. And moving down to the sits bones, the hips, the legs, all the way down the legs to the feet. And then this whole lower body, just being and breathing this space, this presence, this moment. And appreciating yourself, appreciating the strength, the courage, the kindness, the clarity that you are. Imagine an inner bow you do to yourself, maybe a hand to your heart. You are your own teacher, your own guide, your own presence, your own friend. And let's just send a prayer out to everyone here and everyone in the world. A prayer in your own way. It might be a wish for wellness, a wish to receive kindness, to give kindness, to share in making and creating peace. So just imagine this prayer or wish going out like waves around you, connecting with you and connecting out in circles or like the wind, moving out in all directions. And as this wish moves out, so it moves in as well. So there's a movement of sending these loving wishes out and receiving these loving wishes in. May I be well, may others be well. May I be healthy, may others be healthy. May I have purpose, may others have purpose. May I be kind, may others be kind. And using your own words, your own wishes, your own prayers. And when you're ready, just rest in the heart space for a moment, connecting to your beautiful heart. And opening your eyes, wiggling your fingers a bit. Taking your time to come back into this space. And I'd love to hear from you if anyone has a share or a question, a comment, a thought, feeling. Go ahead and raise your hand or write it in the chat. I know we might be in a sort of unusual space to talk, but that's okay. Usually we warm up. David's ready. Hi, David.
Well, thank you for the guided meditation journey. It was absolutely fabulous for me. I'll share that, having been a visually impaired person for a long time, I've had for years all this tension around the use of technology. Okay. And I'm better now because I've had some surgery. So what I got in the meditation is that I kind of instinctively tense up, go to a place of a little frustration and a little impatience, and have this kind of mindset of this is going to be difficult. But today I transformed it, I upgraded it. And the colors I'm putting into my new website are this like royal blue, which comes from this royal blue handmade silk suit that I had made for me in Thailand, and a white silk shirt. And when I wear those, I feel really calm and relaxed.
I love that.
It's made of silk, so it's like a cocoon for me, It's like the caterpillar goes in the cocoon to become a butterfly. So today what I got in meditation was I brought in this cool, reassuring, calming blue into my being. So we'll see how it works.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a great resource. Yes. And I like that you're using it on your website too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay.
So
And just know on another front, David, I have not forgotten about you. I'll be emailing you soon. Okay.
Yeah, we
I
need to
took the
talk a
week
little
off
bit.
last week. Okay.
Yeah. I would love a little conversation if we can fit one in sometime.
Yes, absolutely.
I have one of these. Call me anytime.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. And Joyce, how are you?
Hi, Magali. I'm great. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for this meditation. It's definitely Monday, and I needed this tremendously. Um, I found much more today than in the past. My mind was very all over the place, very busy, just a lot of thoughts coming in and
Yeah.
trying to let those thoughts go and listen to you and still having thoughts bombard my mind. So it was very different today. And I, for some reason, thought of, the fisherman story. If you get a bigger boat and you make, catch more fish and make more money and do all these things. And then at the end of the story, and then what will you be able to do? Well, it's what I'm already doing, sitting here fishing. So I thought of that story, and it was in the just being and appreciating where I'm at in the moment. And so that was kind of the beginning. And then I was seeing a lot of the color green and purple, and then just random weird things. Like I saw a small little lion's face. I have no idea. I've never seen a lion's face. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. And then the other weird thing, I saw bundles of sage wrapped up.
That's interesting.
So
Yeah.
I thought that
Y-
was
you-
interesting.
I'm curious, Joyce, because you are so visual. This meditation was a little different, and that we were learning this kind of just skill in the beginning of being with the emotions. And I didn't give a lot of visual sort of pointers for you to go with. It might be why more thoughts arose.
Maybe.
But that's good, because it's good to work with then your own visual, because I know that's really one of your strong intuitive skills. Like you can bring whatever you want to those thoughts. So you can even play with, when there's a lot of thoughts, how do I make these kind of expand out? Like I'm adding space or wind, or can I make these thoughts something else? Whatever you want to do with it, to play with your visual sense with your thinking sense.
Yeah, I like that. Uh, at the end of the meditation, it was like, okay, I felt the more grounding. I felt the more at peace of I am where I'm supposed to be in the moment. Um, so I think really connecting to the emotion also of wishing other people kindness in their life and receiving, the kind person that I am, and connecting with the emotions of kindness and what can I bring to the world. So that was, yeah.
So so that feeling one, that prayer is really good with your, I think it's good for all of us, but I love to hear how it connects with you.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I would love to have a conversation, if we are able to do that at some point,
sure.
a little bit more about the group coaching when it's appropriate.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And those of you who are students, I do have some small group time set aside. So write to me and I'll send you a link so that you can come to a small group meeting. It's not like a group where we're doing something like a process. It's more like a Q&A.
Okay, great.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Good to see you.
You too.
And Joyce, interesting to see you today without Hawaii behind you. It's a new, I love it.
I'm on my phone.
You're on your phone, yeah. And Adrian, hello.
Yeah, hi, Maggie.
Hi.
Yeah, my share is yeah, I was interesting. I did what I loved as a kid. My career was a hockey player, and played at the highest level, played in the Olympics. And the only thing I would change was that I wish I was more in creation mode versus survival. So what comes out of this meditation is that the body stores so much. And for me, the gut area was always like a trouble, like an area that just created so much havoc. But I love what you say about like meet your thought or meet a thought, an emotion, a body sensation. So you're like meeting it. Oh, okay. So already there's a distance created between that sort of, sometimes you attach like what's wrong with me or if I have this thought. So I thought that was very powerful to kind of be able to communicate with your body and you know,
Yeah.
bring it at ease. And you know, you get sensations in your body like the tingling top of the head, just different things start to show up. And yeah, you have
Yeah,
that.
and you're reminding me, it's interesting. I never know why certain things come out in terms of leading it and some don't. But a good thing, like when you're having that curiosity and the body, like you said, stores things, it may want to talk to you. So in that curiosity, you can also ask it, what do you want me to know? How can I help you?
Mm,
And for many of us, I went to that lower belly area because that is a place where many of us store past traumas and
yeah.
tensions, and also the lower back. And so, and especially an athlete who probably, I'm guessing you had certain kind of injuries, or maybe you didn't, but often athletes
I
do
did.
kind of have more wear and tear. So it's like extra good to talk to the body and to
Mhm.
sometimes also athletes have more sensitivity to what their body is experiencing. So yeah, my meditation teacher was a professional bicyclist, is that how you say it? And had a lot of wear and tear on his body. So I often, listen to him really talk about that relationship to the body. And it helped me a lot in my life as I had certain things come up in middle age with my body, to be able to have that communication
Mhm.
that we're not really trained, I guess, unless we are. Many of us are not trained in that level of dialoguing with our physical.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll
Thank
definitely
you. And
ask
I
that.
love your background. It looks like you're at a spa.
No,
No.
a real good veggie restaurant or so. I just said
Oh,
I
I
want,
love
yeah.
that. I love that. It's very
I want
calming. I'll just think it's a spa. I'd like to go to your spa, or your veggie restaurant. Okay. Take care.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye. And Joan, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, Magali. I just had to share what experience I had today. Totally different from other days when I see colors and have all kinds of wonderful visual experiences. This was an emotional omission experience. I was taken back. I love hugs. I love to be hugged. And of course, don't understand why. And I learned today why. My mother left when I was 3 years old, just turning 4. And my paternal grandmother took over our care. And she had had that Spanish flu and almost died and was left where she had to learn how to walk and talk and so on all over again. So to have the responsibility of a little 4-year-old, and my sister's 14 months younger than me, so these two little ones, was a big, big ordeal for her. And so this experience today, I found myself with her in our kitchen, seeing her and recognizing that she never smiled, she never hugged, she never showed emotion. She just did the chores of preparing our meals and looking after our physical needs. But there wasn't the emotion and so on. And when she got ill, she had an aneurysm, and I was able to use the phone, which I wasn't really old enough to know how to do, but I did use the phone to get help. so that they were able to get there. And she lived for a week after that, and in my bedroom. And I remember being so honored that she was in my bedroom, and my aunt, who was caring for her, let me go in to talk to her. And I was beside her. She was unconscious, but I was chattering away as a little child would. I would be in about grade 1 at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, the experience, Magali, was this incredible experience of showering love over her, recognizing that she wasn't able to show us love and emotion, but the fact that she was caring for us and looking after us, she was loving us. And so I, as an adult, was there with her, loving her, just giving her
So
every
beautiful.
ounce of love that I could. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful healing experience that I just felt I needed to share that.
Thank you for sharing that. You are such a healer, Joan. It's so wonderful to hear you share. Thank you.
Well, I was healed through that. I was just totally healed by having that connection with my grandmother and being able to love her.
So beautiful.
Thank you for this
Thank
meditation and
you.
this
Thank you.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, gosh, you guys, this is very deep, and I'm really moved by what Joan shared. On another note, have any of you read the news about how maybe they have found alien metals that came 10,000 light years or whatever, or 10,000 from 10,000 years ago, and they're studying this at Harvard? I have to share that. I think it's very exciting. As meditators, we're also explorers in a way of the cosmos, and I thought that was such a breakthrough thing that these scientists, at Harvard are saying, yeah, these metals don't exist in our solar system, or I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I was blown away to read that, and I thought, pretty cool. The world is a mystery. So when it comes to these emotional regulation practices, I'm just going to share the slide again with you and just remind you that you can use this curiosity and observing your experience at any time in the day. You can also look behind you, make sure nothing is chasing you, and do the crossover. And then whatever you used for your experience of adding in soothing or restorative or loving, calming, freeing, you can do that at any time, just for a minute. And then the tension scan, breathing, we do a lot of in meditation group, but the tension scan, I think we started at some point, we did the lower belly, but then we scanned for where in our body is there tension. And then we added experiences of beauty, of connection, of opening up or releasing. And that's a practice to really work with tension. And any difficult emotion we're experiencing, the body usually reacts to it with tension. Anxiety is often a tension in the body. That's why this tension reframe is so helpful for us, for our clients, for our family. And then the meditation part of just being as we are, just being. And I, for whatever reason, added that experience of the bird for a moment, having wings, before we just rested as being. And then we ended meditation with a scanning, a more of an adding in of that spaciousness from, I think I started with the ears and the head down all the way through the legs. And then we did the wishing practice. And so I do this little reminder breakdown for everyone, for themselves, and also for those of you who are meditation guides learning with me, or who are group coaches learning, relationship coaches, energy coaches. Everyone can use these practices. So I hope they help. I hope you share them. I hope they benefit lots and lots of people, that we are all kind of like those ripples in a pond going out, and that as we share it, it helps more people. Okay, guys, be well and have a wonderful day and happy summer. And we'll be together soon in a couple weeks, I think. Okay. Be well, everybody. Take care.
Can I ask you to put the slide back up? Just I wanted
Sure,
to write down.
absolutely,
Yeah,
Adrian.
thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. It was my quickest slide ever, guys. So
Thank you so much.
oh, thank you, Joyce.
Such a blessing being with you. You are just amazing, Magali, and bring so much love and compassion and insight to everything you do, and just so grateful for you.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Joyce. I'm
you.
grateful for all of you guys and this.
Thank you, Magli. I hardly
Aw.
talk on your session, but you are such an inspiration. I'm just right behind the corner and just enjoying your presence. Thank you.
Thank you. It's so nice to hear these voices come out of nowhere. I don't tell people usually to just, it's so nice. Thank you, guys. All right.
you.
Be
Thank
well. And yeah,
Thank
let's
you
all
so much.
unmute and say bye. Let's all unmute. and Go to
Bye.
gallery.
Bye-bye.
All right, gotta see
Bye.
everyone. Bye, everybody. Mwah.
Bye.
Oh,
Do
take
an
care,
email.
guys.
We'll be in touch.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.